Hi guys! Last night was a very windy night here aboard Oblix. I fell asleep listening to the wind howling in the rigging. I don't think I'm ever gonna get tired of hearing that sound. I was planning on starting my second liveaboard test this weekend, but it turns out that I'm actually gonna be extremely busy for the next 2 weeks. So I might as well just hold off on starting the second liveaboard test until I'll in fact have time to spend aboard the boat. That makes sense, right? I hope all of you enjoyed the 3 videos from the DOCA Winter Rally. I had a lot of fun, that's for sure, and the rally gave me a lot of good ideas. For one, I want to look into getting something as old-fashioned as a ham radio license. It seems to me that the addition of a shortwave radio to any cruising boat should be well worth the effort. Now, having said that, I have absolutely no idea how difficult it is to get your hands on one of the licenses required to operate such a radio. I did a little bit of digging, and it turns out, at least here in Denmark, there are 3 categories of licenses. There's D, B and A, and D is sort of out of the question because it basically only covers the bands that you would use for the VHF radio. So for me it's either going to be a or a B license. The only difference between the A and the B licenses is how many watts you're allowed to transmit. On the 10 to 80 meter bands, the A license will allow you to transmit with 1000 watts, whereas the B license will only allow you to transmit with 100 watts. So I have two questions for you guys. One, as a cruiser, would a category B license be enough? Remember that the B license will only allow me to transmit with 100 watts. And the second question is, would you guys sort of like to come along as I delve into all of this ham stuff, or is that just too nerdy or boring? Or yeah, just leave a comment down below. I was actually at another DOCA event last Thursday. I certainly hope you guys aren't getting sick and tired of hearing about all of those DOCA events. Anyways, here goes. The guy giving the talk sailed his tiny 26-foot sailboat alone all the way from Denmark to the Faroe Islands. That is a substantial amount of miles to spend all alone out in the North Atlantic aboard a somewhat tiny sailboat. When he arrived, he was joined by his wife and 2 of their kids, and together these 4 people had several weeks of amazing cruising aboard that tiny 26-foot sailboat. And that just goes to show that it's not really the size of your boat that matters. While he was there, he ran into Drake and Mo aboard Paragon. And well, it's kind of cool how tiny the cruising community is. And Drake, being an amazing guy, flew his drone above the harbor and allowed the kids to wear his FPV goggles. I'm sure that made him instantly very popular among them. I'm sure all of you guys are familiar with Drake and his channel, but if you're not, there's a link down in the description, and there's also a link for the website of the guy giving the talk down in the description, but be warned, it is in Danish. I've gone ahead and purchased a 4G internet connection to use aboard the boat, so this tiny box provides me with a Wi-Fi network. And my primary reason for purchasing this is that I want to be able to keep an eye on Jökull while I'm at work during my second liveaboard test. Now, I've also placed an order for a IP webcam to use in combination with this, and that is going to require a bit of bandwidth. Luckily, I did a test on this yesterday, and I got consistent speeds of around 30 megabits up and 10 megabits down. For 30 bucks a month, with a cap of 200 gigabytes, well, I still think that's quite reasonable for this. So, hopefully by next weekend I should have an update about that webcam. By the time you guys are watching this, my little channel will have reached 2,500 subscribers, which is both amazing and mind-blowing to me. I want you guys to know that I appreciate your support very much. And while there is still room for improvement in my videos, I do enjoy making them very much. In a couple of months, the weather will allow me to get started on some of the bigger projects here aboard, and of course there's also the trip to the US to look forward to. So I hope you guys will stay tuned. Oh, and you might have noticed the shirt I'm wearing. This should make it a little bit easier for those of you guys who I'm going to meet up with while in the US to recognize me. I purposely ordered these shirts one size too small. That's gonna give me a little bit of added incentive to lose some of the weight I've put on since my accident. Okay guys, that's it for this time. As always, feel free to leave a comment. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider giving me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, then please click subscribe. See you! I was originally Hi guys! I fell asleep. Nope. 3 videos from the DOCA Winter Rally. DOCA. Is allowed to transmit with a lot higher... I hope all of you guys enjoyed the 3 videos. The videos, god damn you. Really got me thinking got me thinking about a lot of things. Categories of licenses. Categories of licenses. Cut. Why? Why? Denmark to the Faroe Islands. Well, I know I'm not pronouncing that correctly because, well, here in Denmark it's called Færøerne, and that's so much easier for me to pronounce, but please bear with me. Oh, it just goes to show how tiny... Nope. I know I'm not pronouncing that correctly, but, well, in Danish... It's a new language. Danish.